Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at a beautiful modification by Sektan. Now we've seen a lot of Sektan's work in the past. His design has a lot of suits, a lot of different blocks, and he's currently working on a rather special project. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you check him and the rest of his work out in the description below. So this is one of his current releases. This is the mech suit that he's built, and this technically replaces the character model, but what I would really like to see this integrated into some sort of system where you can unlock it after you've got a certain number of parts or whatnot. So let's actually have a look at the model itself and I'll show you how it works. So we've got quite basic function. You can see the legs move extremely fast at the moment. This is work in progress, so a lot of things on this are probably going to change as he edits through them. But let's actually switch to our second camera and we'll set that up with a 9 here so we can actually see how this thing moves around. So F9, you can see how the actual shocked pad sort of legs move around as they move back and forth. Very nice indeed. If we decide to jump, you'll see the shocks absorb the impact and the suit slightly tilts forward. Very nice indeed. The weapons and the sort of drills and all the tool attachments and stuff are not functional at this current moment in time. Let's just have a bit of an envy of the beautiful sort of camouflage pattern. We've got quite a high definition camouflage, and there is a variety of different colours available to us as well. So as we come around, we've got the sort of rounded cockpit area with the 2 lights either side, and it moves into this very sort of simple leg design. Now I really like the camouflage. The camouflage works extremely well against that backdrop there, and you'll see we'll have ones for snowy environments and jungle as well. Now another really cool feature of this is if, for instance, we hit F9 and we hit J, we can actually pop our cockpit up, and inside the cockpit we've got the character who's sitting here very comfortably at the moment. Maybe we can actually stick a joystick or something in there in the future. We don't know what plans he's got for this. And we've got a number of displays. This display at the front looks like some sort of maybe damage model, so you can see where the drone's damaged, maybe if you'll have to hop out or whatnot's going on when you're actually constructing, maybe some information on your welders, grinders, or your turrets if they overheat and whatnot. But a very nice sort of layout. You've got a lot of panels to add a lot of functionality in here, as well as these sort of grab handles, so say the machine's going critical, you could possibly grab onto them. Up at the top we've got some sort of vent, and we've also got these tanks at the back. We've also got a little bit of a diagram here. I'm not too sure what this is. Maybe this is some sort of chart on how much oxygen could be left, or it could just be some detailing that is actually added on there. So moving down the back, we've got these beautifully detailed tanks and these sort of reinforcement areas on the side as well. So you can see that little railing. It could be a grab railing, or it could just be a pipe that's piping into a lower area. And on the back, we've got this kind of large thruster. So what's great about this model is if we actually activate our jetpack, you'll see we'll be able to hover. Let me make sure my jetpack is on. You can see the little bit of flame coming out the back of the tank there, moving us along. But what's great about it is it really drifts this machine. So let's actually put the cockpit back down. So as we're moving around, we have to be quite considerate of where we're going and how we're moving about as we hover around the landscape. Very nice indeed. So let's drop back down and I'll have a quick look at the legs for you. So the character model is now over here. So the legs themselves are like a 2 sort of piston design on the side here. We've got another 2 pistons on the inside, and this moves up this sort of warning bracket. What I like here is how he's put this stripy warning band on the inside of the legs, so you can imagine that it's kind of to avoid trapping your hands in there. That'd be a brutal death. And up at the bottom, if we actually just bring our suit a little bit into the air with the jetpack, you can see how the legs also change to that dangly mode that I quite like. We've got the same sort of stripy pattern underneath, so if you're below and you're about to get crushed by this thing, you don't get crushed at all. But let's have a look at some of the variants of this particular suit. So we'll decide to walk because walking's a little bit faster at the moment. There isn't any sprinting available to us. But as we come around to the front, we can access this. This is his recharging station for the actual drone, and we can select which mech we want. So the first we've got is the basic mech. Now the basic mech comes with number 24 on the tank. You can see that little bit of red pinstriping. I'll show you how the weapons work at the moment. They're not super good. It's still working in process. He explains it. But you can see, you can imagine how they're going to fire out from that side little holder at the moment. Currently there's an assault rifle just stuck to the hand, but it's going to be very fun indeed. A very nice colourful pattern with that cog and the damage sort of 24 on the leg. So let's have a look at the next model of this drone. Go to the Keen, second one down. So this is the Keen software house version with the Keen pattern. There we go, load that one up, and if we make sure we put our gun away, it'll disappear. So you can see the Keen logo on the side. Very nice indeed. Nice that he's incorporating some of the Space Engineers logos into it. You could imagine maybe a developer using this, or even if he tries to pitch this to developers, that can kind of sell it or help them convince them to use it in the project. So continuing on, we have the colour. So this colourful one, we can basically change it to any colour we want. Maybe we want a purple sort of one. Or if we go back, we can get a nice blue one. So this is great for matching it for your faction. You can have a whole variety of these suits running around your faction's base, welding and defending and whatnot. And of course, these mech suits will probably give you more armor than the standard astronaut. So moving to the camo, we've got ourselves an urban digital sort of camo. This is all the prints that he uses are pretty much a hex print. So you can see the hex little camouflage blocks in here, maybe for a city raid or a more greyish area. And if we go into this, we'll go to camo 2. Camo 2 is more of a jungly sort of pattern, much more greenery going on. So this one itself, you can see once again we've got loads of hex prints all over the place, and it's nicely integrated. The black areas, it's not just been completely smacked over with camouflage and looks like something from a Call of Duty game. So let's actually move back in. We'll have a look at the next camouflage print. So the next camouflage print, if I'm correct, is snow. So this is number 3. I think we've equipped number 2 again. So go to number 3, select that. Oh no, it is more of a jungly greener print. So if we go to this, another hex pattern, very nicely detailed, and let's select the next one. So the next one along is camo 4 that we just had. So camo 4 is the deserty camo, and the final camo is snow. So pretty much one for every environment. And something that I tested out was to see if I could actually, for instance, color these camouflages to a particular tone I want, and I can't, so you'd have to use the color one if you want it to match. But each one of the camouflages kind of suits the environment and will look really good with it. Anyway, I want you to check this modification out in the workshop, and I'd like to give your sort of ideas and opinions on using this as an alternative sort of suit. Should this be something that's used alongside the suit, or I don't know, give me some ideas. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.